part 2 of the event, guys. So now what we're gonna do in part 2 is to solve for the area of the shaded region. Look, remember the shaded region is the entire dodecagon such that it does not include the area of the right triangle, the circle, and the sector of one circle. So now let's solve for the area. Oops, by the way, forgot. The area should be in squared centimeters, square inches, square millimeters, and meters squared. Don't worry, kaya namin to. Good luck to us. Okay? Par done na tayo, par next topic na tayo. Okay? So now to solve for the area, here's what we do first. First, let's get the area of the basic figures. But remember, you need to convert them into their literal units. Alright? Because we need to solve for the area of the shaded region. But I think to me, I want it in centimeters. So para mas madali, centimeters na lang tayo. Okay? So first things first, what do we do muna? Let's try with the decagon. The dodecagon pala. Pero the problem is, ang dodecagon, ang hirap talaga mag-solve ng area ng dodecagon. Pero do not worry, here's the solution. You want to see the solution? Ganito kasi yung nangyari. First, we know that this entire thing, this entire line here is, sige, I'll get a draft for you. Ito yung draft na ginawa ko. We know that this thing here is, remember this entire thing here is, 90 is, ano yun? Ano yung kinuha ko? Yes, dapat ang kinuha ko ay, di ba remember this is 4x plus 5. Di ba? 4x plus 5. So this one, remember this 0.3. So remember this 4x plus 5. So what's the other one? We need to get the measure of this other one. So therefore we have 35 plus 35. Remember what's the perimeter? 330. So 330 minus 70 is 260. 260 divided by 2 equals 130. So tama. This measures 130. 130 cm. Alright? 130 cm ang measure nito. Now, here's how we solve it. The clue there is to look at your trapezoid. You remember what did I tell you about the trapezoid, right? Kasi po ganito yun. I have already parted it into shapes. Wait lang I'll draw it for you. Okay. So, diba remember, this is 130 cm. Ito yung 130 cm. And then this is 35 cm. Alright? This is what we did. Look, diba remember I part the figure into shapes? And do you know this is 35 cm? Ito ang 35 cm, diba? 35 cm. So that's the measure of that line. Now, remember just what I said. Do you know what's the measure of every angle here in a regular dodecagon? Remember the formula, right? It's, remember, 12 minus 2 times 180 divided by. So yan, so ganito kasi yung nangyari. 12 minus 2 is 10, and 10 times 180, actually there's another way you can do it. 12 divided by 180, that's supposed to be 15. So 10 times 15 is 150 degrees. Wait lang I cannot write when I'm holding the gadget. So yan, it's supposed to be 150 degrees. Okay, so it's already confirmed that every angle must measure 150 degrees. 150 degrees for each. Now, here's what happens. Did you know that when I part this angle here, di ba remember gumuhit ako dito? Did you know this forms a right triangle, right? What do you notice? Di ba remember this is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees. So did you know that this forms a 60-degree angle? This one also on the other hand makes a 30-degree triangle. 30. So what do you notice? The relationship that we formed is a 30, 60, 90-degree triangle with the hypotenuse of 35 centimeters, right? Good. Now, let's solve. Remember the relationship of a 30, 60, 90-degree triangle? Ano yung doble ng measure? 35 centimeters pertains to the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is always twice the measure. So what do we do about the others? Very good. We start off with the base. Remember, the base is always divide by from the hypotenuse. So therefore, this thing here, remember this is the short leg, this is the short leg, this is the long leg. The short leg is the one that's divisible by 2, which is 17.5 centimeters. So, 17.5 yan. Okay? And then, what's the measure of this side? You got it. We can play Pythagorean theorem. Or we can do 17.5 times the square root of 3. Okay, here's what I did. Ito yung solution ko sa Microsoft Excel. Diba, remember this is the line KL? So, remember this the polygon. The polygon, right? I remember I wrote it this way. Let me write it for you. So, yan. So, we have IJKL. So, KL, diba, remember this is KL. So, that's what I'm working on right now. The line of KL. Ayan. So, diba, remember this the Pythagorean theorem that I did? So, ganito ang Pythagorean theorem formula ko. For line KL, we know that the hypotenuse is 35 centimeters, right? And then what I did here was, to get B, which is the short leg, ang ginawa ko, divide by 2. Then I applied Pythagorean theorem here. Then, what I did was, I take the square root of that number. If I remember this, what happened? So, this is the value, 17.5 times the square root of 3. To give you 30.31. Or, you can also do this. Type square root of this number. The sum of the two numbers. Sum of the two numbers. Click on these two cells. Highlight it. And then, yes, you will... Teka lang ha. Sorry, mali pa yung ginawa ko. Consider my mistake na lang ha. It's this one minus this one. Remember, those are the squares that we got earlier. Then press equal. Press enter. And you should get, oh my god, what the fuck? Sige, wait lang muna ha. Ayan, naka-parenthesis lang to. And when you do that, press enter and you should get, tama, 30.31. But actually, I like to round it off to the nearest decimal na lang. Para mas madali, this is what I did. I made the 30.31 into 30 na lang. Para mas madali. Actually, you can do the accurate version if you like. But, to me, para mas madali, edi 30 na lang tayo para mas madali. Okay? So, this one, what we did here was, where's my pen? So, this is 30. Okay? Then, did you know this can also work on the other side pa rin? This is also 30 din. Tama? 30 pa rin ang naganap. Now, this is already what happened. Diba? This one is still 35. So, what should be the measure of the entire thing? It's supposed to be 95. We sum up everything and we should get 95. So, this is what happened. In the concept called fixing the lines, we have line KL, one measuring 30, the other one measuring 35, and the other one measuring 30. So, I summed everything all up. We should get 95 centimeters. That's exactly what happened there. Although it's not exactly the measure that we're looking for, but, just like what I told you, i-estimate na namin. Okay? Now, let's go on to this part. To work on the other part, ganito kasi nangyari. Remember, your hypotenuse is still 35. And then, this is the height that we're looking for now. Ito yung height na dapat hanapin namin. Pero it still implies the same thing. This is still 30, 35, 30. But of course, we need to get the remnant 2 measures. How do we do that? Well, that's easy. Look at this. There are 2 ways on how you can solve for the measure. You can do 130 minus the sum of everything. So, ganito kasi yung nangyari. So, 130 minus 95. 0 minus 5 is 5, 12, 35. Divide both sides by 2, you should get 17.5. So, dapat 17.5 dito at 17.5 dito. Okay? Yun po yung mangyayari. Now, do you notice something else? This is 17.5 and this is 35 again. So, what do you notice? We can form another 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. Very good. Paano nangyayari yun? You remember that this is also 150 degrees, right? 152. Pero since it forms a right angle, ito yung 60 degrees naman. Pero remember, this is the short leg. Then this is the long leg. So therefore, this one is also 30 din. Alright? To show you what I mean, ito yung what you call this ng line MN. We have 1.75, 30, 35, 30, and we should get 130. That should be the sum. That should be the measure, okay? Now, we need to get the area of both the trapezoids. First of all, let's start off with trapezoid IJKL. Did you know it's symmetrical with trapezoid QRST? So therefore, ganito yung formula. For trapezoid A, ito yun. First, we have the two bases that you see. 35 plus 95, right? 35 plus 95, sum of the two bases. And then with that, we multiply that by AB84, which is this cell, 70.5. Remember, 70.5 pertains to the height of the first trapezoid. With that, what answer did you get? You got 2275. Then what happens next? This one was supposed to be divided by 2. And we should get this answer. But I think we don't need to divide by 2 anymore. Because just like what I said, you will still get the same because there are two trapezoids that are congruent. Same with this one. You know this trapezoid is congruent with this one. This trapezoid is congruent with this one. And then area of the rectangle. So that's how we part the figure into shapes. Two trapezoids, and one rectangle. And that's how we solve for the area of a dodecagon. Now what about trapezoid B? For trapezoid B, we did this. Sum of the two bases, here are the two bases that we got. AG84 plus AG83. Yes, ito yung dalawang base. 95 and 130. We should get 225. Multiply by the height. What's the height? Ang height namin ay 30 naman. Teka, bakit 3? That's wrong. Gets ko na kasi po dapat i-multiply ko by 30. Kasi po yun yung height namin eh. So you have to multiply by the height and you should get, divide by 2, 3,375 square centimeters. And then with that, we multiply it and add it with the rectangle. Summation of everything, we should get, what's the area? The area of the trapezoid is, we summed everything all up. Sum of 2275, sum of 6750, sum of 4550. What's the answer? We should get 13,575. So that is the area of the dodecagon. If you want to play SOHCAHTOA, that also works. Remember, if you play SOHCAHTOA, the center is right here. And then you draw two triangles, right? Then remember, to get the area is the perimeter of the entire figure times 1/2 times the apothem. The apothem is what we don't know. So let's work this out first. To get the apothem, this is the central angle, right? And since there are 12, we divide it into 12, we should get 30. So 360 divided by the number of sides or angles this polygon has. And that's 12. So 360 divided by 12 is 30. And then divided by 2 is 15. Right? Now we can play SOHCAHTOA. Remember, 35 can be split into 17.5. Then 15. This is 75. And then this is 90. To play SOHCAHTOA, remember, we need to get the height. How do we get the height? It's like this. I'll show you in the next video.